I'm standing inside one of the most secure bank vaults in the world, and today we're going to tear down exactly how these vaults are made. But how do you design something that can withstand some of the smartest criminals and most powerful tools on the planet? We're talking about walls so thick they can stop a drill, doors with locking systems that are practically uncrackable, and security so tight it feels like something out of a spy movie. In this video, I'm going to show you the fascinating tech that keeps billions of dollars safe. Now you might be thinking, hold on, a vault's just a locked box, right? But vault technology has evolved far beyond a simple metal door and combination lock. Just like technology in every other part of our lives, bank security has to stay ahead of the curve. So, how is a bank security vault made, and what makes it impenetrable? That's what I want to figure out. A brief history of vaults. Vaults have come a long way since the days of thick castle walls and treasure chests buried underground. Believe it or not, vaults have been around in one form or another for centuries. Back in the day, it was all about thick stone walls and iron-bound doors. Think medieval castles, Egyptian pyramids, and even pirate treasure chests. They were all early forms of vaults. But by the 19th century, as banks started becoming central to commerce, the need for more sophisticated vaults became clear. The modern concept of a vault, a secure and reinforced space for valuables, was born. In the late 1800s, the first true bank vaults were made of heavy wrought iron and steel. They were thick, but not quite as sophisticated as what we have now. Yet, even those early vaults were practically impossible to break into for the tools available at the time. Fast forward to today, and we have vaults that are reinforced with layers of materials designed to withstand fire, explosives, cutting tools, and even hacking attempts. We're not done cracking this case, but before we get there, make sure you lock in that like and subscribe. It's the safest move you'll make today. How modern vaults are constructed. The first thing you need to know is that a vault is not just a steel box. It's made of multiple layers, and each layer serves a specific purpose. The outermost layer? Steel. We're talking about some of the highest grade steel on the market, stuff that's designed to take a beating and keep standing. A standard vault door, like the ones used in major banks, can weigh as much as 20 tons. But it's not just about the weight. This steel is often hardened, meaning it's been treated to be more resistant to cutting tools and even explosives. Why? Because criminals have gotten a lot more creative over the years. Vault manufacturers need to stay ahead of the game. But steel alone isn't enough. Beneath that layer, there's often a mix of concrete and composite materials. These materials help absorb shock and provide additional protection against explosives and cutting tools. And when I say concrete, I don't mean the stuff you use to build your sidewalk. This is high-density, specialized concrete, often reinforced with additional metal fibers. In some cases, manufacturers even use materials like Kevlar, the same stuff used in bulletproof vests, to make the walls even more resilient. Some vaults also include a ceramic layer. Why ceramic? Because it's highly resistant to extreme heat. This prevents burglars from using cutting torches to melt their way through the vault. The ceramic reflects the heat away and dissipates it, keeping the valuables inside safe. What about fire? Vaults often have special fire-resistant materials built into their walls. Even if the entire building around the vault were to go up in flames, the vault would keep the assets inside safe from the heat. The vault door. If there's one thing that sets a vault apart from any other safe, it's the door. The vault door is arguably the most critical component. After all, it's the only part that regularly opens and closes, so it needs to be secure but also functional. The door is a marvel of modern engineering. A standard bank vault door can have up to 20 or more locking bolts. These are thick steel bars that extend from the door into the door frame when it's locked. It's like locking a door with 20 deadbolts at the same time, except each of these bolts is several inches thick and made from hardened steel. Once they're engaged, prying the door open is nearly impossible without the right tools. and several hours, if not days. Now let's talk about the hinges. You might be thinking, if I can just cut the hinges, the door will fall off, right? No. Vault doors have specially designed hinges that are often reinforced and concealed. In fact, the hinges are designed in such a way that even if you were to cut through them, the door wouldn't just fall off. Most vault doors are so heavy that they rely on the locking bolts more than the hinges to stay in place. And one more thing, some vault doors are also designed with anti-explosive devices. If someone tries to use a bomb to blow the door open, these devices trigger additional locking mechanisms to make it even harder to open. The locks. So you've got the door, now how do you lock it? In the early days, vaults used mechanical combination locks, like the ones you see in old bank heist movies. These locks had wheels inside that needed to be aligned perfectly to unlock the door. Mechanical locks are still in use today, but many modern vaults also incorporate digital locks. Digital locks bring a whole new level of complexity to the equation. These systems often use algorithms to generate a new combination every time the vault is locked. That means even if you knew the previous code, you'd be out of luck the next time you tried to open the vault. Now, some vaults also use biometric security. Fingerprint scanners, retinal scanners, and even voice recognition can be part of the security system. In the highest security environments, you might need multiple forms of identification just to open the vault. But it doesn't stop there. Many vaults today also have time locks. Even if you know the combination or have the right biometric data, the vault will only open during certain pre-programmed times. This means that even if someone tries to break in after hours, the vault won't budge. Additionally, vaults often have silent alarm systems connected to the locks. If someone tampers with the lock or tries to brute force their way in, it sends an immediate alert to the authorities. It's not just criminals that vaults are designed to protect against. Banks often build their vaults with environmental factors in mind. In areas prone to earthquakes, vaults are built to withstand significant ground movement. They have special reinforcement that keeps them stable even if the ground shakes. In flood-prone areas, vaults might have waterproofing features. Some vault doors have a seal that activates when exposed to water, keeping the inside dry even if the building is flooded. And let's not forget about structural security. Many vaults are built underground or inside reinforced concrete bunkers. This adds an extra layer of protection, literally. Even if a would-be thief could break through the outer walls of the building, they'd still have to deal with several feet of reinforced concrete just to reach the vault. Surveillance and monitoring. Even the most impenetrable vault needs a watchful eye. Modern bank vaults are constantly monitored by advanced surveillance systems, and it's not just a few cameras here and there. We're talking about 24/7 multi-angle, high-definition surveillance, paired with motion detectors and even infrared sensors to pick up any unusual heat signatures. Now, many of these systems are controlled remotely, and some banks even hire specialized security companies to monitor their vaults in real time. These operators sit in control rooms miles away, scanning footage for any signs of tampering or suspicious activity. Some systems even use AI to detect movement patterns or unusual behaviors that could indicate a potential threat. You're probably wondering, what happens if the power goes out? Surely all those fancy electronic locks and security systems would fail, right? Well, not exactly. Vaults have built-in redundancy systems to make sure that even in the event of a blackout, they remain secure. Many vaults have backup generators or battery systems that kick in the moment power is lost. These systems ensure that the locks stay engaged, surveillance continues, and alarms remain functional. Some vaults even have mechanical fallback systems that activate if the digital systems go offline, meaning the vault can still be locked and unlocked manually if necessary. Additionally, in the event of a total system failure, most vaults have protocols in place that automatically engage the locks, keeping everything securely inside until the issue is resolved. Some vaults have gained legendary status, not just because of their security, but because of what they protect. Let's take a quick look at some of the most famous vaults around the world. First, there's the Gold Vault beneath the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. This vault holds more gold than any other vault in the world, about 500,000 gold bars. It's located 80 feet below street level and is protected by a 90-ton steel door. Then there's Fort Knox, possibly the most famous vault in the world. Fort Knox is a United States Army post, but its vault holds billions of dollars in gold. This vault is rumored to be so secure that even high-ranking officials don't know all of the security measures in place. And finally, we have the Bank of England's vault, another iconic location. It's said to be the largest vault in the UK, and like Fort Knox, it holds billions in gold reserves. The security here is top-notch, with a door that reportedly needs a key that's 3 feet long. If you want to see more behind-the-scenes looks at how some of the world's most sophisticated technology is made, be sure to subscribe and hit that like button.